Oh, well. Hey, Gotham. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Gotham. But before I get any further into the show that has had the longest of all these winter breaks, Jesus Christ, Gotham, I'm very concerned for you guys. What the hell? But anyway, but before we talk about the show that took the longest to get their ass back into the program, let's first reveal what the hell this show is. And of course, it is the Super Vlillain Vlogs. Ooh. That one sounds like I just had a revelation. Anyway, yes, Gotham is back. I know a lot of you are like, alright. Just to see more comic book characters we love get butt-fucked real royally. And yes, that is basically what's going on here. That is what we are witnessing. But hey, but you know what? But for me, supervillains are supervillains. I mean, if you ask me, it's better to have some good old-fashioned, some great good old-fashioned familiar supervillains than to have them be completely omitted from this, completely omitted altogether from all these super villain activity that gets to go on during this big boom of superheroes. Why do the Batman villains have to sit it out? So I think it's great that even they get to participate in this. They get to participate. I mean, sure, it's not at all in the way people would want, or ever would want. In fact, sort of questions why I use them in the first place. But still, let's take what we can get. The more I defend it, the more I realize, wait a minute, this is fucking stupid. Maybe this should be taken out of its misery. But for the time being, let's just keep watching the train wreck as it happens and completely refuse to help any of the survivors. Alright, okay, so, Gotham, yes, Gotham. Yes. Alright, okay, let's see if we can try to remember what the fuck happened last season, because it's been so goddamn long. Once again, reminding them that. Alright, what the fuck happened? Yes, Gallivant, was killed. Yes, old Gallivant. And of course, I know that Gallivant had, I know that Gallivant is kind of comparable to, Damien Dark, in a way, where they don't deserve all this super, high standards of villainy given to them, because they're not the ones who earned it. These other characters, lesser than them, earn it. But no, you have to give it to these fancy suit business douches, these corporate douchebags. But Theo Gallivant, I cut some slack, because I knew he would eventually go out in a whimper. I knew he was just there just to set up other villains. He was basically just there to inspire other villains to do their duties. But with Damien Dark, on the other hand, all that he's setting up is his own villainy. That's basically what's going on there. So that's why I didn't mind Gallivant. Well, it's too bad because he's dead and stuff. And it's okay that he's dead, because I could have gone either way with him. Either you keep him throughout the season, or you freaking kill him. And apparently they're doing both, because even though they don't bring it up in this episode, I don't think they bring it up, but we do know that he's under the mythical care of Hugo Strange, who we finally get to see. Yes, we finally get to see the glorious face of Hugo Strange. Oh, yes, we've been waiting so long. He was practically tailor-made for this kind of show, yes, where we don't have the exact supervillains yet, achieving their supervillainness. So instead we got other villains who don't have to be up to those heights of supervillainy instead. And one of them, of course, is Hugo Strange. He's just a crazy-ass psychopath. Although apparently in the comic books he was more of a basic mad scientist, but then they decided, you know what, since there's like 2 billion others of those, let's make him a different type of scientist. So they made him a psychiatrist. But in this, yeah, he is basically still a scientist, isn't he? But also a psychiatrist. Yeah, he's moonlighting, yes. Yes, he's moonlighting as a psychiatrist. Yes, and his first patient is Pingvin. Yes, Pingvin I made myself sad. Man. Just the worst happening to Penguin right now. Oh, it's such a shame. When we started this season, he was on top. He was the highest of the high in the city. Everyone was answering to him. He was a crime lord, and now he's a homeless man, and now he's been arrested, and now he's gonna have to deal with Hugo Strange, giving him therapy. Oh, how far the mighty has crumbled. Oh God, that's okay, Penguin. You can build yourself back up, okay? This was inevitable to happen, okay? Because the status quo you had at the beginning of the season because the position that you had at the beginning of the season is the position you usually are in the comic books, and since it's going to be decades before we get to that, you might as well fall off it, because, what do we do when we fall? We beat the shit out of people who also fell too, and we make them fall. Penguin, look at me. What do we do when we... Penguin, look at me. Why do we fall? So we can beat the shit out of the person who pushed us over so they can fall. That's why we fall. Alright? Okay. Okay, so that's what Penguin and Hugo Strange are doing. I can't wait to have I wonder if this show I wonder if Penguin and Hugo's scenes are going to be just like the scenes that are currently in the Lucifer show, where every episode has a therapy session. Yes. And then they have sex. So anyway, so moving on from Penguin and Hugo inevitably having sex, let's see here, what else? Yes, the experimentations going on. Yes, the experimentations that Hugo Strange is doing. Yes, the supervillain factory he has below Gotham. Yes, this is probably how we're going to get more of our science fiction-based villains, from Batman's Rogues Gallery, like Man-Bat, and Clayface, and we know Firefly is down there, although I don't know why, because Firefly, his powers aren't natural. He uses like flamethrowers and shit in a jetpack. So I guess they're going to turn her into Phosphorus or something. I don't know. Maybe that's what they're going on. I mean, they combined Phosphorus and Firefly in the Batman show from the early 2000s, that show. So maybe that's what they're doing with her. It could be kind of cool, like, not only have a gender-bended Firefly for a change, but also have a gender-bended Phosphorus, and they'll all be the same character. But anyway, so let's see here. So this is probably how we're going to get our Clayface and our Man-Bat. What other sci-fi Batman villains could we get? We could get Egghead and have like a man who's like whose DNA is mixed with that of an egg. No, on second thought, maybe not. We'll probably get Humpty Dumpty for that instead. Yay, Humpty Dumpty! But anyway, but of all the sci-fi based supervillains we have, also Poison Ivy there too. Since we already have her. Although, wait a minute. Would they give her powers this early? Well, they are doing that already with another certain character. Yes, so as I was about to say before I was rudely interrupted by myself, myself interrupted me is what I'm saying. What I was going to say was that of all the sci-fi based Batman villains, of course, the most famous of them all, Mr. Freeze is coming back. Mr. Freeze! Mr. Freeze. His name is friggin' Mr. Freeze. Yes, I'm talking about Mr. Freeze. Yes, of course, him too. Because in this episode, when Hugo Strange's lab discovers discovers what Mr. Freeze is cooking up, or freezing up, when they discover that, they need to get their hands on him. Yes, so they can cryogenically freeze all of their experiments and stuff. And why is Mr. Freeze doing that? Well, you're probably a freaking dumbass if you don't know already, because he's Mr. Freeze. He's got one of the most famous backstories of all time for supervillains, because of how well it was changed for the animated series that re-envisioned that character. I don't even have to say it, you probably already know, but in case you live under a rock and you just suddenly found the internet somehow, and for some godforsaken reason, this is the first thing you find on the internet. I don't know how the hell that happened, but if it did happen, then I'll give you the lowdown. Okay, so his wife is dying, and he has to cryogenically freeze her, and he has to find a cure, and that's basically it. Also, he accidentally makes himself, like, cold or something, and he can't be uncold. Anyway, whatever. But this show, it makes a bit of a change here and there, it does a little bit of adjustments and tweakings, that makes sense. Although too damn early, if you ask me, because apparently he's basically already Mr. Freeze. Like all of a sudden, he's just immediately already Mr. Freeze. Just all willy-nilly. He's like, nope, I'm not even gonna wait like these other guys like Penguin and Riddler and stuff. I'm too impatient. I'm Mr. Freeze. I'm just gonna go ahead and already become Mr. Freeze. Screw you guys. So yeah, so he's already got his fully realized freeze ray gun, and he's already got a costume in the works. He's sort of got a prototype costume in this, so he's not completely there, but I've seen some set images, and from the looks of it, yeah, he has almost attained full Mr. Freeze level. Like, he is practically already Mr. Freeze, while Batman's still a prepubescent boy. Anyway, so yes, but like I said, there are still a few tweaks to make it work here in a different way, such as the fact that apparently what's going on here is that in this version, his sick wife, the only way to cure his sick wife is if he freezes her and then she comes back. And that's why he has all these experiments, is because he's freezing them, and if they come back, that means that he could do the same with his wife, and somehow I guess that's what will cure her of that thing that she has going on, whatever it might be. That's making her cough up all the blood, and it's not the good type of cough blood either. That's a reference that hopefully none of you will know, but if you do, I'm sorry that you got that reference. So he has many test subjects to experiment on, and all of them fail. And the way they fail is that after the ice is done thawing and melting all around them, they melt too, they're dissipating, and their skin melts off, and they all just turn into blibby, wishy-washy blob, and the skeleton just dissipates, and it's all like, oh yay! Who would have thunk that the most horrific, disturbing superhero show currently on TV is the one where Batman is a little boy? If someone tells you, like, hey, do you want to watch the show where Batman's a little boy, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't immediately think, yay, melting corpses, and we get to see every gruesome, disturbing minute of it. Oh, that's so fantastic. Fun for the whole family. But after all his experiments, he finally finds a winner. Yes, some douchebag naked guy who has to be naked in the middle of in the middle of the Gotham PD. I'm naked. Yes. Oh, so that means it's finally that means that Mr. Freeze has finally found a match, and you know what? I can't help but be happy for him. Well, of course I'm happy for him because he's a fellow supervillain, but, like, happy for him in a normal way. And, just say what you want about the fact that he's going way too fast, way too soon, because, like, next week he's already going to have, like, another prototype, which is supposed to, like, progress to a different prototype later. It's like, whoa, slow down, Mr. Freeze, you're going way too goddamn fast. Jesus Christ, you're trying to sprint towards your status quo before anyone else gets to theirs. Jesus Christ, you're gonna hurt yourself, which is probably gonna happen. And you know what? Even despite all of that, that's going on there, it's still, you know what? This is still very touching, because I see that all he wants to do is cure his wife, and that's all he wants to do, and we see that he cares for her. It's just the problem is he cares too much, and this might not work out for him. It might not work out for her too. And that does actually spark my interest to see what happens. Like what's going to happen to her? Is she going to turn into a fire-based supervillain like she eventually did in the comic books? But then that was retconned into never happening in the first place because that was freaking stupid. Or is he going to cure her and then she's going to forget about him and then he's going to be all depressed and walk into the sunset with a couple of polar bears only to return in the distant future as a cyborg robot spider. Which fate is left for him? Which fate? It's so sad. But let's all be honest, okay? You know what? This is not the worst interpretation of this character. Let's face that, okay? There are worse. And I'm not even talking about the most obvious one, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm not even talking about that one. I'm talking about the one where, like, Nora Freeze has been frozen since, like, the 1930s or something, and he's just some crazy dude. At least they didn't go that route, okay? Just be thankful they didn't go that route with the character, okay? Alright, okay, let's keep going now. I think I've talked enough about Gotham, and anything I forgot I'll talk about later. Also, Penguin, left a will for Riddler. He's like, goodbye, Riddler, I love you! I can't wait for all the DeviantArt fan art. It's gonna get real sexual real fast. Okay, let's keep going. Alright, let's move on over to Supergirl. Yes, Supergirl. Yes, and in this episode, this is the episode where we meet, of course, that blue supervillain that everyone's been comparing to another blue supervillain, a particular female blue supervillain. You know who I'm talking about, of course. It's obvious at this point, of course. She's exactly like Nebula. Yeah, she's practically like Nebula. Indigo is her name. Yes, she's exactly like Nebula. Hey, I threw you for a loop, huh? You guys thought I was gonna say Mystique. Well, guess what? I didn't. And you know why I didn't compare her to Mystique? Because every goddamn person under the goddamn sun has been comparing her to Mystique, okay? Everybody, okay? Alright? And what's worse is that every single time I heard someone compare her to Mystique, every single person who compared Indigo to Mystique, every single one of them always said it as if they were the first one to say it. Like, oh, look how clever I am. Aren't I so clever to compare Indigo to Mystique? I'm a goddamn genius. Well, guess what? You're not. Everyone has made that comparison. Everyone, okay? Alright? I dare to be different. I dare to compare her to Nebula. Even though she doesn't look as much like Nebula as she does Mystique. The reason why is because unlike Mystique, she's actually close, more similar to Nebula, backstory-wise. Because Nebula is a cyborg, Indigo is a living computer, and she's apparently the same race as Brainiac, apparently. And that makes me wonder, does that mean that she's gonna be like the stand-in for Brainiac for the show? Because that's sort of what we've had so far with other characters, like Supergirl Supergirl obviously serves as the stand-in for Superman. Jimmy Olsen is the stand-in for Lois Lane. We sort of have Non here as the stand-in for General Zod, and we have Maxwell Lord as the stand-in for Lex Luthor. Cat Grant is the stand-in for Perry White. So does that mean that Indigo is the stand-in for Brainiac? Because if that's the case, then I can imagine this might be to everyone's disappointment. Because so far, Supergirl has been tackling certain villains that we've never really gotten to see in the movies, such as Toyman and Livewire, and pretty soon we're getting Banshee. I know we already have her technically because the civilian character is there, but I don't care. I don't care about her until the moment she puts on that Day of the Dead makeup, okay? As soon as she puts that on, then I'll care for her. But anyway, but the thing is that with all those, you would think that they might as well put Brainiac in there too, but then again, he's too big of a supervillain for them not to eventually do in the movies. And, there was a rumor going on for a little while that Brainiac would be in the part 1 of Justice League, saving Darkseid for part 2 of the Justice League. So if that's the case, then that means he might not be able to show up here, and so that might be to everyone's disappointment because with this introduction of Indigo, even with her symbol, which is the same symbol as the same symbol as Brainiac, as soon as she shows up, that probably makes everyone interpret that as like, oh, it's a teaser for Brainiac. Oh man, that means Brainiac's gonna be the show. Oh fuck. But however, what if that's not supposed to be the case? What if it's not supposed to show us that Brainiac is going to be on the show? What if that just means that she's here in place of Brainiac? Because she does acknowledge that she's like a computer-like being who goes through the internet and stuff. Oh shit, she could take over the show. Oh fuck. Oh no. Thankfully, she will never find me. Yeah, I'm as obscure as fuck. So yeah, so at least I'm safe that way. Oh, you better watch yourself, Markiplier and PewDiePie. You guys are more likely to suffer from her wrath than me. Yeah, screw you guys. Yeah. But that does not mean I'm completely doubtful that Brainiac won't show up. I'm just saying that what's more likely going on here is that she's just here to replace Brainiac. She's to be there in place of Brainiac because she's been summoned by an ally of hers. Yes. Ooh, and this got me excited. Like, ooh, who's this new villain they're gonna reveal? Oh, it's Non. God damn it. It's not that I hate Non completely. I mean, still, he's significantly less interesting than his movie counterpart from the 70s or 80s, 70s and 80s. He just doesn't strike me enough as an interesting enough villain for him to be the all-around big bad of the season, I mean, there just doesn't feel that much to him. If he was a more accurate interpretation of this of the 70s version, then I would be more interested in him. Of course, then it would be really weird for him to be the mastermind of all of all the Kryptonians and space villains that work for him. Like, just some animalistic doofus. He'd be like, yeah, that would be basically he would all do. So I can understand that, but they've got to stop like setting up other villains only to reveal that it's him over and over again. Okay, it's like we kept wondering like, ooh, who sent the Black Mercy out on Supergirl? Oh, it was him. Ooh, who hired Indigo to get Supergirl? Oh, it was him. It just feels like they're setting up cooler villains than who they ultimately just keep shoving down our throats over and over again. It's Non. Again and again and again, and again, and again. But anyway, yes, so Indigo has the power of internet, and she can use it to reenact Doctor Strangelove, and she can strangle, Toyman Jr. No, not Toyman Jr., he has to still become Toyman, probably, or not, or die, or I don't know what they're gonna do with him in the long run, but they're surely not gonna get rid of him now. So Supergirl beats her ass, and apparently she explodes into a bazillion pieces, and Non is like, no, we're gonna keep using her, because she was the Supergirl from the previous, series, from Smallville. So of course we're gonna keep reusing her, okay? Come on, star power. What, is she too busy with her boring-ass werewolf show where they barely become werewolves? No, she's gonna keep doing this, okay? Alright. So they're going to keep using Indigo, but before they do, they have to put her back together again, okay? They have to play Mr. Potato Head with her first, okay? But then when they're done, then they're gonna reuse her. All right, okay. So that was Supergirl, I guess. Yay! Also, Supergirl is not mad at Martian Manhunter anymore because of solutions problems. Okay, let's move on over to another show that's Estrogen for the win. But this will be the last time I will say Estrogen for the win, because this is the season finale of Agent Carter. Yes, the season finale, and possibly series finale. Still no word back yet as to whether or not we're getting that show renewed. But apparently we're getting Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. renewed without a revelation for Agent Carter, which is really, really weird, considering that usually this isn't around the time they usually announce a renewal for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Usually that comes right at the end of the season, the previous season. That usually doesn't come till right near the end. That's when they decide whether or not to renew Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But they didn't do that this time. This time they just did it really quick, like really early in March instead. Yet they didn't reveal anything for Agent Carter, which might be really a little alarming. Like that might mean this is it for Agent Carter. No more Agent Carter. Oh no! Oh, and they set up a big ass cliffhanger too. It's like they didn't do that last season because they were like, yeah, well, if we don't do another season, whatever. We just want to do this one season. But now they're like, no, we're gonna do a cliffhanger to show that we're definitely gonna do something when we come back. If we come back. And if we don't, you're just gonna, screw you guys, you're just gonna keep wondering. But before we get to that cliffhanger, let's first talk about the season finale of Peggy Carter. Or Agent Carter. And big ass surprise, Jason Wilkes is still alive. Wait, what the fuck? Well, Jason Wilkes is still alive? Whatever. I don't really give that much of a fuck because, once again, I don't really care that much about supervillains, but I have talked about him because he kept having potential to be. He even threatened Peggy Carter's life. And so I thought, oh, that means he really is a supervillain. And he went out a supervillain last week. He was posthumously a supervillain. But now that he's back and he's doing good stuff, I revoke his superhero license. I revoke it. I revoke away his supervillain license. He is no longer a posthumous supervillain for two reasons. One, he's not dead anymore. And two, he's not a supervillain because he went back to being a good person. And he was all being sad and regretful, like, oh, why did I have to threaten Agent Carter? I'm so guilty. But who cares, because I'm going to have a successful life now. Yay! Maybe he's the doorman's great-grandfather. I don't know. Anyway, you have to do a little bit researching for that reference, kids. Anyway, or maybe you don't. But anyway, so if he's that much of a villain, what do we have left? Oh, that's right, I forgot. Now that he's no longer a supervillain, or probably never was in the first place, let's give all the reins back who truly deserves to have the last laugh here, who truly deserves to be the big bad here, and do the final ultimate super villainous thing of the whole season. And you know who I'm talking about, who did such a good job this whole season with her super villainous ways. Such a good job that I thought, you know what, she's earned it. She's earned to have her own personal Vlillain vlog this week. Yes, so we did some research and we tried to find her. We tried to find her to see if she's still in her super villainous roots, and she is. Now, I know this is really exciting, and I know I'm excited too. Like, we get to see a personal villain vlog from a living legend. Yes, she gets to have her own super villain vlog. She gets to have her own personal vlog this week. However, keep in mind that, the last time you saw her was in 1947. So she is going to inevitably look a little different, Thank God she's still alive. Oh, we were really scared. Like, oh man, did she eventually die? Like, that was a little scary. Like, oh, we didn't know whether or not she was still alive, but we did a lot of research, and it turns out she's still alive, and she's able to film a vlog for us. And that's so great. That's so nice of her. Oh, that's so great. So that means that I don't have to talk about it this week, but what I will talk about is how they dispose of her. Jesus Christ! Ugh, talk about a big-ass anticlimactic letdown. Ugh. They kept setting her up to have this big-ass, epic, glorious, huge battle with Agent Carter, and even though I knew, like, it sort of made sense that we wouldn't necessarily get that because, it's Agent Carter. She doesn't have any superpowers herself, but, she's got her wits, and she's got the gadgets from the other guys, from the scientists, Howard Stark and Jason Wilkes and the third Bumblebee Booby guy. She's got those guys, and she got herself. She's got her skills and stamina, so why not have a big epic supervillain fight? Well, they don't. Instead, they open up a portal to suck up the powers of who I wanted to talk about, and then they put her away, and now she's been disposed of, and that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's the way they do it. They just rely on a portal doing the heavy work for them. That's it. That's it. But what's left then? Well, I mean, I guess the portal itself is left, so they have to deal with closing the portal. I guess that's, is worthy of a climax. But my gosh, I was expecting this all building up to a glorious battle, of the supervillain, not a portal, not trying to close a portal, not that. That would be like taking that portal closing scene from the end of Avengers, from the first Avengers movie, and making that the whole climax, basically. Like, oh, let's just close that, and that's the only thing we have to worry about. And by the way, they use the Justin Scar. Meet George Jetson! And that's how they resolve that. Which means there's no supervillainy left. No supervillainy left. Oh, by the way, Manfredi, I don't blame you for switching sides temporarily, because you did it out of love. I understand. You did it out of concern. Whatever. It's fine. Just make sure you go back to villainy next season, if there is a season. But other than that, well, what else is there? What else is there to talk about? Yes, Jack Thompson. The guy who I kept wondering whether or not he was on our team. I kept wondering, I had my suspicions, like maybe he is, maybe he isn't. And he got really close this season, and he did. And lo and behold, the final scene we see of this episode, we think, oh, wait a minute, are we going to have a revelation? Is he going to accept a destiny to a path towards supervillainy? No, fuck that. He's going to get killed by a real supervillain, motherfucker. Yeah, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, back to good old-fashioned super villainy, the classic kind. The old mystery noir type of supervillainy, where it's some mysterious guy with a shotgun who shoots Jack Thompson. Is he dead? Is he not? I don't fucking care. Fuck him. What I really care about is whoever this guy is, or gal. Who is he or she? Who? Yes, that's what I'm excited about for next season, is finding out who this person is. Now, I know a lot of you will make guesses, and will make educated guesses as to who it might be, and you might guess people who have already been on the show, but fuck it, you know what, for fun, I'm just gonna guess someone who's not been on the show yet. I'm looking towards the comic books, and I say, what if it's Baron Zemo? Huh? Baron Zemo. Now, I know you might be saying, but wait a minute, Bloodnofsky, that makes no sense. Baron Zemo's been confirmed for Civil War, which takes place in modern times. Well, guess what, guys? There's been multiple Baron Zemos. There's generations of them. Baron Zemo is a moniker that's passed from one generation to another. Yes, there's Heinrich Zemo, there's Herman Zemo, there's all kinds of Zemos that date back to many, many generations. Yes, it's a legacy, the Baron Zemo clan. Yes, so if that's the case in the Marvel Universe, then that means that Baron Zemo could easily show up in this show. All they have to do is just have it be the Baron Zemo of that current generation. Now, I know in the comic books, the present Baron Zemo is the son of the one that was from the World War II, but I imagine that probably they might change it for this show where it's the grandson of the one that was from World War II. So all you have to do is just add that extra generation right there, just slip it in, just slip in the salami between the two bread, or the cream between the two Oreo cookies, and then you have a perfect Baron Zemo dynasty. Yes, yes. So that's what I predict. Well, it's not really much of a prediction as it is a hope. That's what I hope happens. That's what I want to happen. That doesn't mean that's more likely that doesn't mean it's the most likely. I'm not saying it's the most likely to be who shot the fuck out of who shot Jack Thompson. I'm not saying that he's the most likely. That's just who I want the most, is for that to be the World War II generation of Baron Zemo, and they could tie that in with Civil War in a way, So that's who I hope for. But they're probably not going to do it because the show is probably canceled. I don't know. But if it is renewed, then hooray! Baron Zemo! Although there's still a chance they might not use him because, they like to use other things. Whatever. I didn't mind the choices they went with this season, like Dr. Finhoff. I was perfectly fine with Dr. Finhoff last season, and I was fine with here too. It's just that it would be nice to get some villains that were actually around in that era, in the 1940s, And they still haven't friggin' done that, apparently. So there's still that, but yeah, so that might be the end of Agent Carter. We don't know yet. But if it is, man, that's a huge screw you if that's the case. Like, Jesus Christ, maybe they shouldn't have ended on that cliffhanger. Maybe they were a little bit too confident in themselves. Like, yeah, we're totally gonna get another season. Let's totally have this tantalizing cliffhanger for the viewers that probably won't be resolved because of low ratings. Yeah, totally. So we'll see with that. Well, anyway, so that might be done or it might not be, but the point is we'll move on anyway over to the final show of this week to talk about, and that is Legends of Tomorrow. Yes, this is the show that thought, you know what, unlike those other CW shows, we're gonna keep going, okay? Because we got less time to waste than they do, okay? We got less time, alright? Let's keep going. So what do we have this episode? Well, we have space travelers, we have time pirates. Oh, that's stupid as fuck. I mean, I know this is DC, so I shouldn't be surprised by time pirates. Sorry, I keep saying space pirates. I buy space pirates before I buy time pirates, honestly. The reason why I thought it was stupid as all fuck was that, wait a minute, if there's time pirates, does that mean that they go around does that mean they time travel throughout the entire timeline, fucking it up? And if so, why is there no repercussions of that? Or maybe the explanation is that everything that happened in the universe is because of them. Yeah, it's like Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure type thing, where the changes they make in the past already happened, inevitably already happened. So maybe that's it. That's interesting, although now that I think of it, if that's the case, that's not what the rules were for previous episodes, so never mind on that. But then again, I wouldn't put it past this show to be like, let's rewrite the rules of time travel to each episode. Fuck it, we don't fucking care. You're just gonna watch it because it's a superhero thing anyway. Fuck you, we're gonna do whatever the fuck we want with these time travel stories. Anyway, so, but wait a minute. When I saw the trailers for this episode, I thought we would be only focusing on one particular villain. And we do get quite a bit of focus on him, but it came off like we were only gonna deal with this one particular villain, and not these weirdo time pirates. But that's okay, because this particular villain I'm talking about teams up with the time pirates. And of course, who I'm talking about is Heatwave. Yes, Heatwave. Oh, thank you, Heatwave. Thank you so much. Thank you. You are just a breath of fresh air, Heatwave. You are a beacon of hope that's been shining its way through the path throughout Legends of Tomorrow. Yes, because as I slowly get less confident as I slowly have less hope for Captain Cold, as I slowly lose confidence in him, I gain confidence in you, Heatwave, because you continue to be a shining example of villainy. Yes, while Captain Cold keeps wilting away and slowly becoming more superhero-like, you continue to cement yourself in your path of glorious supervillainy, and I am so happy that you constantly remind me of that. Thank you for giving me a glamour of hope, Heatwave. And so, what glorious supervillain thing will you do now that you've teamed up with the Time Pirates? What are you going to do, Heatwave? You're gonna leave the show? No, don't do that, Heatwave. No, you have to stay, Heatwave. Okay, you have to stay. You have to be their enemy, Heatwave. You have to be the constant thorn in their side going forward. Okay, you can't just leave. You're the only thing I have left. I'm slowly losing more and more hope for Captain Cold. He's becoming more and more like a superhero by every minute. So I'm concerned about him. But I'm not concerned about you. So you need to stay. So I know that you can bring Captain Cold back on the right path. You can't just leave. Well, luckily he gets defeated. I didn't realize I would say that, but yeah, he gets defeated, which means he gets to stay on the ship. Yay! Yes, good. He good. I'm glad he gets to stay. So that the team can keep him on timeout, so he can stay throughout the episode, the remaining season, continuing to be the supervillain character that will make me gloriously keep trudging forward with the show. I bet they're going to kill him, aren't they? No, don't go Old Yeller with him. No. Why am I even saying Old Yeller? That's not a good example. Of Mice and Men. Yeah, of Mice and Men. Don't of Mice and Men him. No. Don't treat him like Lenny Small. No. Let him tend the rabbits, George. Let him tend those rabbits. No, don't make him look at the sunset. Don't make him look at the sunset. Don't tell him to think about the farm. Don't tell him to think about the farm. Don't tell him about the rabbits that he's going to tend. No? At least look at him as you do it. Okay, good, he does look at him, but still, it's really sad. It's really sad. Captain Cold has to take out his best friend. The friend he had since he was a kid. He has to kill him. He has to kill Heatwave. And Heatwave knows it. Heatwave knows he's gonna die. He's gonna do it. He's gonna kill Heatwave. They're even in the same setting as Elf Mice and Men. They're even like out in the forest. He's gonna kill Heatwave. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see what he does. I don't want to see Heatwave die. I don't. Okay, they do it off screen. Oh god. Oh, the episode ends before they even show Heatwave dying. Even the episode wanted to look away. Even the episode was like, nope, I don't want to look at that. No, I don't want to look at that. No, I don't want to see Old Yeller play out in front of my eyes. No. Oh, God. Why would they do this? He was the best character. He was the only one who I knew would stay being a super villain. What am I going to do now? Well, I guess I could speculate that he's going to come back. But then again, that's what everyone does with everybody who dies. They're always like, I wonder if they're gonna come back. And you know how I always am. I'm always like, let's keep characters dead. Let's actually have death mean something, okay? Let's actually have high stakes here, okay? Alright, we can't have everyone come back. But with Heatwave, I'm willing to make an exception. I'm willing to want him to come back, okay? Alright, we need Heatwave, alright? We still don't have the rogues yet. You can't kill Heatwave before you even get together the rogues on the Flash. And Heatwave is a staple of that. You can't do that without him. That's a gaping omission. So that makes me think like, okay, like what's predictable is all fuck. Well, whatever I predict, they probably already do because of the predictableness of the show. So my predictable thing that I predictably think they will predictably do is I predict that the Time Masters, let's call them Time Masters because they're not Time Lords, even though they obviously are. The Time Masters will get a hold of the body and they will regenerate. They will regenerate it. They will turn it into a cyborg. Yes, and not just any cyborg. They're gonna turn him into the new 52 Heatwave. That's my prediction anyway. Of what they will predictably do is that they're gonna make him more like the new 52 interpretation of Heatwave, where he's got that big ass furnace on his chest. He's practically a walking furnace in that version. So I predict that's what they'll do with him, and that's the way they'll contrive him to still be on the show. Because he's more worth contriving ways to keep around than Ward on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Okay? Yes. So it's very important that I end this episode off on optimism. Not depression. No, I don't want to be depressed. I want to be optimistic. Am I being optimistic or am I being in pure denial? Probably the latter, but who cares? I'm gonna be delusional. Yay, Heatwave will come back, I hope. I think. But first we have to do like mutant monsters in the 50s. But whatever, just as long as we eventually get back to Heatwave. Because surely they should bring him back. Surely! They wouldn't do that this early. Bloodnofsky, calm down. Just be delusional. Think delusional thoughts. Delusional thoughts, okay? Cheery sunshine, yay, happy, be happy. Happy, joy, happy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, joy. Okay, alright, so that's the episode, everybody. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna go take some drugs so I can not be depressed about heatwave. Happy, joy, joy, happy, joy. Happy, joy, joy, happy, joy.